A new week, a new day on Enterprise Morning. You're welcome. I am Henry Igwebike. In a bit, we'll be going to our newspaper headlines today to see what we have for you this morning. And after that will be our main conversation also for today. Please, we would appeal you visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. With me today in the studios to do justice to our newspaper headlines is Cyril Abaku, a journalist and a public affairs commentator. Good morning to you, Mr. Cyril.
Thank you.
Happy New Week. Welcome to Enterprise Solution.
I am glad to be here.
All right. So quickly, let's start off our show today from the Punch newspaper with this very big story. The president candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has explained why the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, server failed to work during the 2023 presidential election. He said that the establishment of criminality made the Inec server not work during the last general election. Obi stated this while addressing the issue of the 2023 elections, including the IREF server in Canada during the weekend. Mr. Cyril, let's talk about this. I know we have been told repeatedly that elections are over and we should accept our fate, despite the fact that there were so many irregularities that need to be, talked about. But the Labour Party president, the Labour Party candidate, Peter Obi, is still calling the attention of the world to the massive irregularity in the February 25th, 2023 general election. Do you think okay for us to go back to what had befallen us that we have been told to forget?
Well, so no, we can't forget. Not because we're sad losers or bitter losers. No nation should forget in a hurry. If it's a good memory, you trap it and make it even better. If it's a bad memory, you trap it still and learn from it. So, even if last elections had been won by people, even if you had won the election, some would still say it wasn't fair, it wasn't free, it wasn't credible. Because we can't all sit from the same prison.
Prison, yeah.
What do we then do? We can look at, okay, Peter B won, or Article 1, or any other Kankwaso 1, or even Tinubu 1. What can we do to reduce the margin of error, no matter how widely acceptable the IREV, whatever, could be? It's just that in Nigeria today, what you find is that we have not been given a good explanation why the server was shut down. Like Mohammed went to America and started saying that no, that the government knowingly shut it down. Knowingly, deliberately did it. But he is the government spokesperson. He couldn't have spoken without clearance. So he was speaking the mind of government. Maybe they didn't check their books enough to realize that that was not the right thing for him to have gone to say. And ever since the month of April, they've been trying to manage, no, we didn't tell him, no, we didn't, no, we didn't authorize it. But the question to ask yourself is, today, now that they are in government, how they run their business, how they run the show, is it any different from what others have been doing? Imagine, and the APC says they are going to organize elections by, direct vote? Primary elections, direct primaries. You know what that means? In a direct primary, all members of the party, not delegates, will vote. Okay. So when they say the candidates for governor are Jide Solanke, Jairi Salako, and so on. All these people don't need to go to a stadium. They will stay in their respective local government areas. Then party members, as many as they are, will all vote directly to choose a candidate of the party.
So is that bad?
But but it's not workable. Let me ask you, in Nigeria, how many election members do you think any of these parties have? That live in the grassroots. They are not there. They are few and far between. Members, they pay their dues, they attend meetings, they are Do you see party like that in your own area? You arguably don't see. So that's the problem. People cannot just wake up tomorrow and say, so we ask, how many people now voted in the primaries? You know, what did they do? The governor was wherever it was, every other person was in their wards and units, you know, to cast their vote. Then what happened? What happened will shock you. What happened really will shock you. The governor was in one place. All the contestants didn't go to the same place. Then the next thing that was that somebody had won.
You won.
Who won the election till today? Or how did he win till today? Nobody can say. He has won. Yes, when they went to Ganduje is telling them, "You guys, this thing, leave it from us." So this is where we are in reality.
So if they can get it or have it that bad with the party itself, why won't they have it? Why can't we
even vote directly for the president of America? Why can't we vote? I mean, about Nigerians. Why can't we simply vote? We'll be able to do that.
Very true.
But we cannot. So what people be saying is not new. But I'm glad it's making the world get to know about what's happening. Yes.
All right. So before we move to the next daily, please help us talk through to Tinubu getting the minister's Q1 assessment. In a couple of days now, the administration will be 1 year old, and the question is, do you think there's something meaningful that we can get from the ministers as a report of the great good job they have done?
This is a very tight question, but I think that you can see it in what's going on in the country. So if you take minister by minister, okay, this man Tunji Ojo came in, showed some promise before he got entangled in the Better Edu scandal.
The Minister of Interior, that is.
Yes. Better Edu herself. She's the only minister in this Nigeria that will be put out within 5 months or so on corruption allegation. It's unimaginable.
The Minister of Power. What do you have to say about him?
There's no Minister of Power in Nigeria.
Minister of Aviation.
Well, I'm seeing politics there.
Okay.
You know, but power, there's no Minister of Power in Nigeria.
The Minister of Works.
Who is that?
Dave Umahi.
Oh, well, of course, a lot of boldface and knowledge, except that right now, the Coastal Highway project is about to mine legacy.
All right. So quickly, let's move on to Ernest Daily. The Guardian newspaper. Bank orders shop for over 3 trillion from broke investors, a lean market, and we have unattainable fuel scarcity amid the regulation. Please speak to us about the bank's orders shop for over 3 trillion from broke investors, lean market.
Investors cannot bring money to the system when they are broke themselves. Only yesterday or so, there was a story saying that loans from banks to private businessmen had gone down, that in March, right, it was minus 10 trillion. That given how they've been performing, it fell by 10 trillion in March, which means people are not willing to borrow. And since they're not borrowing, they cannot also be investing. Now, if you can't borrow and you can't, it means it could mean you're broke.
All right. So please, yes.
So one policy is linked to another policy, and we are now in the economy is contracting. And that's not good for any business environment. All
right. So please just quickly speak to us about yesterday or a day before, there was a viral video that is going around about the Lagos State government organizing what they termed as deportation of some 500 youths to Osun State. You know, and the outcry is, so can't Nigerians be Nigerians in other parts of the country?
Well, they can be. You recall that there was a time another governor of Lagos State, they said people from a particular part of the country bungled them and sent them back to all that. From time to time, I think that this ill wind, this ill feeling bubbles to the surface. Leadership must bend over backwards and pay the ultimate price for integration. It is important. But sending them back to Osun, if Osun was that, why did they come to Lagos in the first place?
Very good.
So this is the issue. Anybody in Nigeria will be free and able to work anywhere he wants to work. Without let or hindrance.
Very true. So finally, let's move on to the Daily Times newspaper. The big story here says Tinubu's son on Chalgreed's board, conflict of interest. Atiku says investors can't come to Nigeria through propaganda. Mr. Cyril, speak to us on this. Do you think this is just a mere blackmail campaign by Atiku, or do you think there's a fact to this issue?
Blackmail or not, as far as the record is out, you can't.
So even if there's a great job that is on the way, does that change anything?
Well, the point to be made is simple and straightforward. Okay, if there's provable material conflict of interest, then federal government should not be doing this business at all. All
right. So this is just about the time we have, for our newspaper headlines today. And when we return, President Tinubu yet to return to Nigeria days after trip to Saudi Arabia. That in a bit, Mr. Cyril will be here to take us on that. Please don't go anywhere.